How's it, man? I'm good. Yeah, you're looking sharp today, man.
You know,
Ha, you see,
even you look sharp today.
like Bunny says on How I Met Your Mother, like, suit up, Papa,
Suit up, suit up.
We mean serious business here.
But the cap cannot go. The cap cannot go. It's either, the hair's close to be gone, and then, I'm going to be bald.
Ah, man, this wind that is bothering us. So blowing your hair all over
The last little bit of hair I have left.
the work we had to do for the setup.
Well, to
I
our
hit
viewers,
August, by the way, man, I hit August.
same here.
Yes, yes.
To our viewers, welcome back to another episode. And yes, I'm addressing you as viewers since I was corrected earlier in this week that you are not an audience since it's not live and stuff like that. You're our viewers / soon to be listeners.
Yeah.
I'm very close on finishing up with the Spotify account. I'm gonna add all of our links and everything at the end of the video, so you'll be able to follow us on Twitter and
Yeah, and
Insta.
we also going to announce ourselves on TikTok. I
Yeah,
think we're gonna make short videos so that I think they take 3 point something minutes. What's the mix, man?
I'm not even sure. We'll check then. We can also add our time lapses and stuff. For those of you that do not know, on our Insta and Twitter and stuff like that, we have time lapses I create. That's like the entire podcast, like in a few seconds, maybe 30, and then you fucking spit all over us.
Man, I'm feeling cold, man. This week
Yeah,
it's supposed to be hotter now.
they said it's gonna be a cold winter, cold day today and tomorrow. Good thing we suited up. But for those of you that do not know, the lower body is not suited up. I shall demonstrate. So yeah, to our new viewers and new listeners, I am JB and this is our co-host.
Magie.
So today we have a very serious topic. I guess we can label it as serious, but I mean
It's a very serious issue
in the modern society and society in
we're
general.
living in today, man. Yes. I
I'm
don't
not-
think we are taking it as serious as we should, man.
I don't know how to do it, because usually it's fun. We just talk and stuff like that, and I create an intro. But I'm gonna put it on my hand here. I'm gonna do something like this, and then the topic for today is
Mental health.
mental health, and generally just mental health awareness and stuff like that. I think that's also a thing we should. I didn't think of that.
But I think the government is taking more initiative to introduce mental health awareness to a lot of people now, because people are not really worried about how they feel and how most of the things that are happening out there in the world affect them mentally.
and how to work with whatever is bothering them.
I guess we are obsessive about how we look physically. We are not taking as much attention as we do to take care about our
And
physique.
hence that, But I sent you that video earlier this week regarding the hair thing, and I actually wanted to quote that with Andrew Tate, and it's that thing when he says he's pushing a Lamborghini and stuff like that. It's you're defined by the quality of man you are, and not by the hairstyle you have. I might be misquoting him, but that's more or less what I'm summing it up to be. But I mean, yeah, if you don't have hair, so what? If you have hair,
But,
you'll lose it someday.
eventually, because
Eventually.
most of us grow bald. Man.
Yeah, but we have beards. That'll replace
We stress so much, man.
stress so much,
And there's so much going on currently out there in the world, in our lives.
and at least I wouldn't say we have it easy in South Africa, but I mean there's a lot yeah, this is gonna be regarding next week's episode that I can't even speak now. What I was gonna say, I feel we have it a little bit softer because the only thing we actually worry about is load shedding, exams, and matric, work, university, and then we have other countries such as Russia and Ukraine that every second person that's there is wondering if this is the last day on earth.
Yeah, ne?
And then
And that is one of the causes of mental health problems. Imagine when you're a soldier there during the war, things that you're gonna see there. People are getting killed. Because you told me the other time how it affected your grandparents.
my grandparents, my mother, my father, all of them are military people, and I mean, the few times my father would share anything with me, it was like once or twice, and I mean, he wouldn't share like a lot about what happened then and what happened there and there. But I know my mom used to tell me, PTSD, waking up throughout the night, stressed, cold sweats, crying and stuff like that. So I think we can be thankful for what we have currently now. I mean, for the soldiers that are out there, I mean, worldwide and nationally, I think a lot.
Mm.
I owe a lot of respect to them. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Because you can imagine the trauma that comes with seeing your loved ones, your friends, because those people are more like your family because they get to live there at home for so long.
24/7, 24/7. I think it's how many months? 6 months, 9 months.
Mm. So you are away from your family, your children, your wife.
Yeah, you
So
lose.
you
There's a lot
build in
of
that serious bond with whoever you are fighting with there.
yeah, and
So
it's a,
imagine you lose Yanas today and we have been fighting this war for 6 months together.
yeah, man.
Can you imagine the mental trauma that comes with that?
And especially, like I said, PTSD, man. It's not something that a lot of people pick up on, but it's actually a quite serious thing. There's this movie, Tobey Maguire plays in it. I think it's called Brothers or something. I don't think it's called Brothers, but I know another movie is called Joyd. But I know Tobey Maguire and I'm not sure the other guys will star in it. And then he comes back from war, and then his wife left him for someone else, for the brother or something. And then he struggles with PTSD and stuff from the war that keeps on flashing back in his mind and attacking him.
It affects his daily life.
Yeah, his psyche and everything. But it's vicious to think about stuff like that.
And as you mentioned there about his wife leaving him, that can be one of the most serious traumas. I think it's one of the popular ones because in South Africa currently and across the whole world, the relationship doesn't last long, and we don't take into account how much that affects a person.
I mean-
Because some people, when you are dating them, they give you the world,
Which is true.
and
Right.
they see you as the reason to wake up every day to go push out there because they think I
Right.
have this partner.
And then imagine not seeing that partner for 6 months. Imagine getting pregnant.
He even breakups with you through the text. So I cannot do this anymore. And
So-
but I think the marriage is when you are in marriage, when they divorce, the effect of two people
It's a difficult thing,
separating is
espe-
worse than in the relationship.
Especially if one still loves the other one, I think.
And there's children to think about. There's family bonds that they are already built, and
Yeah, it's a
they
difficult
all
thing.
depend on the togetherness of two people.
Exactly.
If they decide to separate,
Because I mean, I think for a child, they see their parents as the couple that cannot get broken up. And then
yeah,
just imagine one day waking up, and I mean, that was something that used to happen with me way back when. Is my mom and dad, it wasn't always a picture perfect marriage. There was issues regarding this and that, and I mean, to see your parents fight, it's not a nice thing when
It's
you're
not-
young.
definitely. And it has been statistically proven that children that are raised in marriage, that those that are out there raised by one parent, the effects,
Yeah,
they are very serious, man. We can see how they perform academically, in life, career-wise.
everything like
Having
that.
two people available, both
I-
of them at the same time.
Off to other serious topic now. I don't know why I put this in this pocket. This pocket is extremely deep. I'm gonna just.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I can remember how this aunt of mine was so mentally disturbed after he separated with this guy, with the guy he was dating.
Mm.
So I think they were dating since from 2005.
Sure.
Their relationship lasted for around 11 years and stuff. So the worst part is that after they broke up, I can say my auntie supported that guy through thick and thin because most of the time that guy was unemployed. And that guy moved from wherever he was renting out. He came to live with us, with our grandmother and the rest of the family and stuff. So we got so much used to living with him. He was like one of my grandma's child, I can say. So they lived together with us for around, I think 13 years.
it's a long time. It's a
It's a
lifetime.
So, and imagine the worst part is that after they break up, the guy, after 3 months, he got engaged to another woman. Amen. That's when I decided to know, because back in the days, I used to be the guy who break women's hearts.
the
and stuff like
heartbreaker.
that. Amen. I saw what my auntie went through after that breakup.
then you
Seeing
realized-
that guy getting engaged to another woman, marrying that woman, they living together and stuff, and they love pushing. And that was just after the guy got the job, man. Imagine the draw. I saw it was like my auntie was going crazy, man. He was talking about him almost every day, man.
And I think it has a very, very large effect on a person, regardless of if it's a man or woman. Because I mean, that person might never be able to love again due to the amount of love they put into that
To
specific
you,
person.
because I don't think they will be able to trust another person as much as they trusted you, man.
Never. It's very, very sad to see and to hear about such things. And to the viewers and listeners, I apologize for the wind. It's August, the August winds are blowing. So the mic is down here at my legs. I'm protecting it with my knee. So if there is some disturbance, we do
Yeah.
apologize. But at least there's no darkness. We're in fully lit South
Yeah, we
Africa.
managed to start the episode a little bit earlier today.
If only you guys saw the entire struggle we went through to get this table here.
That's a hassle.
Well, that is life, and that affected my mental health. I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah,
But-
and another cause of mental health problems, I think, is unemployment, man.
Unemployment, and
Thinking about it now, yes, the things that you have to go through as an employee, especially when you are unemployed, man, there's no one who's going to
Now-
give you a handout or
and
something.
then imagine if you're a husband and you have a housewife and you have kids.
to take care of.
It's I'm not saying it's just a man that takes care of the family. It's not what I'm saying, but I know usually for a lot of men it's how they see the world or how they think the world portrays them as they have to be the breadwinner of the family.
It's like it's natural for us as men to be breadwinners, to provide. That's what we do. We take so much pride for providing for our loved ones, man.
Exactly, and I think that's another thing that men also need to start realizing is we don't always need to. There's a video of Paddy the Baddy, he's a UFC fighter, and then
Yeah.
his best friend committed suicide the night before he had to fight a match. He won the fight, and then he dedicated the fight to the friend who lost. And he was like, the one thing he just wishes was that men would have the balls, just to speak about their issues for once. And it's not about men's mental health. I'm not saying it's men in general, but men we tend to
be so silent about what
we
we're
put
going
our
through
egos
inside.
because we're scared if we talk about something we might be seen as weak, and I feel that's very dumb of
Yet appearing vulnerable, even
Mm.
even in front of our loved ones, and they are there to support us. Man. We have to understand that
Exactly.
they won't judge you.
That's why I say if you have a job and you become unemployed, I think the first person you should definitely go to is your better half and explain to her what happened.
Not even necessarily being employed when like the income that you are receiving currently doesn't
Well, it
cover what it used to cover because
Mm.
the cost of living now is going up so much.
as we
Just
talk-
tell your
as-
partner about your financial problems, man. Just be in the open.
be open,
Because
yeah.
things get a little bit easier if everybody understood what page are you in.
Exactly, and I think that's what we should start doing is if we should it's difficult, and I know not everyone has maybe let's say they have trust issues regarding anything, but I mean whether it's your partner or your parent, I feel be open. Speak.
Well, I think the problem that most of men not want to be open about their financial status is that, yeah, these women tend to leave you when they see that you're
And
struggling financially.
and that
But if a woman leaves you, man, you should see it as a bonus because that means that person
That-
was never down with you.
there was never love.
There was never love.
It was.
She was just there to get the financial benefit
was-
from it.
Exactly, but I mean yeah.
We understand it's not that easy because,
I-
and especially if you loved that person,
Especially yeah. The love
and
is
they were
is a
just there.
love is a very dangerous thing. I think this is also something that is also, and for the viewers and audience, once again, it's not just men's mental health; it's mental health in general. But
In general.
men are the much more stupid gender. I can say in a lot of things due to us. If something fucks up and in it royally f's up, we seek assistance with different substances, or whether it's prostitution, whether it's
Substance abuse.
substance abuse, and I don't smoke this for substance abuse. I just like the flavor.
Mm.
I mean, if I don't need to smoke it, it's fine. And earlier you also heard me like chewing candy. I'm not chewing candy. I'm a bit sick, so it soothes the throat. Yeah, but the world we live in, it's a difficult place because there'll always be one person or two people or a few people that'll say, yeah, the ECC lost his job. Now he can provide for his family. If I was his wife, I would have left him. If I was his kids, I would have what's that word?
If you were,
That whether it's not, let's not put it whether it's husband or wife, and the spouse loses their job, surrounding people that see the guy and or girl lost their job,
dependence.
there'll always be people that judge you for whatever you do and whatever's wrong.
Yes. people are always there.
And they're
to
judgmental,
judge,
man.
whether you do good or bad.
And
And that we end up taking our frustrations on our women, man. And that also gonna end causing them a lot of trauma when we become abusive towards them.
I feel that's something that's very wrong, you know. Women were put on this earth to be protected, whether it's by man or woman, but
Because the effects of getting abused by the person you call your husband or your love and stuff.
yeah. That's what our life is. It's a dark. We live in a very very dark world.
It's a dark age, man. Especially this modern times. It's a dark age, man.
And I mean, especially as well, we can also go front with people that struggle with gender identity or coming out to their parents, whether they are bisexual, gay, queer, whatever the sexuality may be. And
They're
I mean,
afraid of the abuse they're going to receive from the society.
from society,
We take it lately, or whether it's verbal or on the internet.
and I remember talking to this one lady I assisted once, and she was like her daughter's transitioning to a man, so her son is now technically a son is transgender, and because he never felt comfortable with the body was put in, and I mean, the mother said she has made peace with it, but her father hasn't made fully peace with it. And I feel that's the one thing I think a person that's either transitioning or trying to come out of the closet, they just seek one thing, and that's approval and help, you know, from the people they trust the most and they love the most. I'm putting this knee closer to the freaking mic.
And it is getting strong and
Yeah,
strong.
but it's the people they trust the most that they just wish they could get that extra bit of love and attention from, and I feel not everyone understands that, and then it leads to suicide, addiction, anorexia,
Substance abuse.
all of those things. It's
They end up being alcoholics or drug addicts.
and then for what? Because one or two people thought it'd be better breaking you down than building you up.
Ish, man, it's bad, man.
It is. But I feel you are the much more prepared one this episode, you know. So I'm gonna let you host it today, and I'm just gonna follow up with the topics.
Yeah,
Hit us up with the next one, Mr. Gift.
yeah, I think the diagnosis, because you might think that you are suffering this particular mental health problem, but
Due to
the
searching on
duration, the duration of how long that experience affected you depends whether that thing is depression or anxiety or whatever. Because sometimes you could be just down for a day or two.
yeah,
Doesn't necessarily mean you are depressed, man. All of us.
yeah, and I
Some
mean,
days you are just down.
because I mean, I've seen people who have depression, and I've dealt with people who have had depression or still have depression. It's not a fair thing to see because the entire day is their entire day. It's a struggle for them to wake up in the morning because they feel they have no purpose serving on this world. Though, I feel that's the wrong thing. Rather seek out someone to talk to, whether it's a psychologist, whether it's a friend, whether it's any random
stranger
a
online.
stranger. And I feel that's one thing that I can say is a great bonus in the world of now. It's you can talk with anyone and
There's a lot of platforms out there available at your disposal
that you can
to
talk
reach
to
out
people.
to.
And I feel that's actually quite amazing. And you can reach out to them for free. You don't need to pay them a
Yeah.
subscription. You don't need to pay them while talking to them. Of course, it's going to cost you airtime in South Africa, but other than that, yeah, I feel it's quite amazing how the world has at least come to it or tries to assist people with with a bad mental health or struggling with their mental health. It's
So
very beautiful.
very important to emphasize on that point. Though. So if you are feeling down for a longer period that you usually feel like yourself, that's when you should start noticing the symptoms and stuff.
And
Don't be down for a week or two, or
and then
you already think like you are depressed, because I think they are making it fashionable now. Everybody's feeling down, they're starting to think like they
yeah,
are
I'm
depressed.
depressed. And then in the meantime, it's not even depression.
You're just down, man.
yeah.
You just have to change few things in your life, then your life will be back on track.
And then people will be like, I don't feel I serve purpose on the world.
But if you see like you are down for a month or 2 or 3, yeah, I think that's a huge red flag. You
Yeah.
should consider getting some help. Man.
I remember you said we're going to share some personal stuff regarding where we know someone or we've dealt with bad mental health or struggles regarding mental health. I don't want to name any names, but it's two people I know. Let's call them Jeff and Susan,
Yeah.
for example now. But it's actually two women. So what is a good Susan and Annie? So Susan she stays far away, and she stays in Cape Town now for argument's sake, and then Annie stays somewhere in KZN, and they used to be best friends way back when, and they separated ways. Both had families of their own. Both had yada yada yada, and then now with regarding Susan, Susan had a quite a shock. She got divorced, and she has a daughter, and the daughter started to resent her. She didn't
Because of the divorce.
because of the divorce.
So she was blaming her for the
She
divorce.
was blaming her own mother for the divorce, and it's not like the daughter was young. The daughter was
Very well.
not very old, but she knew what she said. She had enough mental capacity to at least know what she
To
did to her own
consider
mother.
her words.
So, and Susan gradually got more and more depressed. Didn't talk to anyone, and so Annie and Susan still talked online. And we were sorry, I can see you shivering here.
I'm shivering.
You know, you're not used to the short pants stuff.
Yeah. Because it gets worse when it's coming from the people that you love.
That you love, and then
Because you can be bullied out there by the society and stuff, but if it's
Especially-
coming from
and then
the
um,
loved ones, yes.
and then especially now with Susan, what happened was Annie texted her a week ago, and then Susan just replied with, "Take care of your family, take care of yourself, and know I'll always love you." And then good night. And then 2 or 3 days later, Annie found out Susan committed suicide by hanging herself in her house, and that still haunts Annie to this day.
Yes,
And if I think about it, I don't think I'd be able to cope knowing that someone you love so dearly commits suicide. And
because of you.
and I mean, a lot of people, especially our youth, they might know someone that used to be close that committed suicide. And I mean, it's
Because it is how it affects your life.
especially and that's the thing when it comes to if you cannot speak, or so if you feel you speak to someone and that person can't even help you, I'd say make a plan, go to a mental institution, take some time off, work on yourself and improve yourself, cut ties. I mean, even if it's your family, I'd rather say cut ties to save yourself and build a better future for yourself. And
Because it is one of the things that is recommended as treatment for your mental health problems. You just have to be very careful about people that you hang around with.
and especially with
If you always hanging around with people that will always make you feel down, man, eventually when you're not going to be in the right mental state.
yeah, man, and I know with us, we mess around a lot. Like
A lot,
we tell
man.
each other a lot of
man.
cock every day. But now we'll take example, so there's someone else, and we might try to make the same jokes with them, but it'll affect them differently than it affects
Differently
us.
than- we are so used to each other. I mean, everything we say, we just take it lightly and understand that you are just joking around.
Yeah.
Why am I joking around? So be very careful about people that you hang around with, man.
Yeah, and especially if it's a new person you start to hang around with,
Mm.
and they don't fully understand the jokes and stuff you make with your friends, and then they knew and they feel, oh shit, gift is
Because
offending
you
me.
won't know how something that you say gonna arrive at someone, or how are they gonna take it.
And exactly, and then that person doesn't know what to say, and because they might feel, if I tell something to you now, for example, and because you're teasing them now, and then like, but does he may probably really thinks that, and then stuff like that. So it's we
See,
should,
there's a red flag, man. If people are constantly putting you down,
yeah,
you should be hanging around with people that makes you feel like you are adding value to their life or to the society at large.
and that
People that are always judging you for every silly thing that you do or how you are, especially about who you are.
yeah, and
Because you cannot change who you
no,
are.
be who you want to be who you aspire to be.
Mm.
Be the person that gives you reason to wake up in the
Yeah.
morning, and I feel that's
And be with people that appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's most important.
I had
Be
this-
people about who appreciate who Ayanas is as the person.
Yeah, I had a discussion with someone other day online. We were just chatting, and then that person said, I asked him and or her, what gives you purpose every morning? And then they couldn't tell me what gives them purpose. And I told them my purpose that gives that at least there was one small thing is, if I wake up in the morning, I at least aspire just to assist one person or just make one person smile Because you never know how far
You
that
never
smile,
know, man. You never know how are they feeling inside. Or
especially,
that
yeah,
single thing that you said to them would make their day. Oh, yeah.
even whether it's just an hello. Because every morning, if every morning when I walk to work, there's all of these mamas
Hey,
and
that you always
aunties
great, by the way.
and I'm
I
like,
know you,
and I
man.
love
I
greeting
know,
them. And then
yeah.
they're always like, oh, that Ojang. And I'm like, ah, Osham,
And they
Osham.
laugh.
And when I got my hair cut and everything, they were like, ah, he's
You're
smart.
looking hot, you're looking hot
I'm like,
today.
Aish.
You never know, man.
And I mean, that boosts me. It gives me enlightenment for the entire
Yeah,
day.
man, the whole day you get to keep up with so much because you know, man, that the contribution that you are making out there. At least I make a life worth living for someone
Yeah,
today.
whether it's a small contribution, I'm not saying you have to go
Mm,
global or major with it,
no, man.
but the
People
smallest,
around you, there's
because you might share a smile upon someone, that
mm,
someone might get enlightenment and share that smile upon someone, because laughter and a smile is
especially
contagious.
us guys because you are not usually used to getting compliment. Have you realized when you receive a compliment from someone as a guy? I mean, you always remember that fame,
To
man.
this day, I don't know how to handle compliments.
Yeah, man. They are
Like,
so awkward because we are not used to them.
and I feel,
And a person makes your day when they tell you, yeah, man, your shoes. Yeah, you're killing them today.
and
And
then,
you feel so like, yeah,
yeah,
man, I feel good, man.
'cause,
So why don't you become that person who always compliment people about small things,
mm,
little things, man?
even if the person is not the most beautiful person on
Mhm.
earth, and even if the person is not the smartest
And
person on earth,
especially if the compliment you're giving them is true, something nice, you
mm,
like, no, man, I like your jacket, man.
and
It looks good on you.
then
The confidence that you're gonna give that person to face whatever he's facing that day is
might help
immeasurable,
him.
man.
Encourage as many people and as much people as you can.
Mm.
It's
It's
yeah,
beautiful,
it's
man.
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I can't stress it enough, because I mean, I've seen this. But it's when then Mama told my hairstyle was fire.
Hey,
When I
there's
was
this
like,
Arako, this friend of mine likes here. If you can be anything in this world, just be kind. You can be so
and now
many things.
and now gift is
Just be
making
kind,
and
man.
now gift is making my editing more difficult, because now I'm gonna need to check the video. I'm gonna have to add the quote in words, because
Yeah, man. I like it so much, that quote, man. I love it so much.
so
Just choose to be kind.
I also have a quote, but I did not study my quote. I apologize. Could you kindly open your phone for me so I can
I will
offer,
open it for
so
you.
I can read them my quote.
One of the treatments they say that ensure that you do things that you love, man.
Yeah.
Things that gonna make you feel so good about yourself. Man.
You know, I'm gonna go into your WhatsApp
Ensure,
now.
yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Ensure that at least once a day, if you are people who love to listen to music, ensure that at least once a day you listen to music
Yeah.
and stuff. You go play cricket, you go play soccer.
Find a way to release your frustration.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as you know,
Don't just hold them in, man.
because I think especially with guys. Okay, but forget. Let me just read you my quote. You are not the bad. Okay, I need to read slow so I can add the words one by one when I edit. You are not the bad feelings you get in your head. You are the storm you walk through. You are the person experiencing the storm. The storm may knock you off your feet, but you will stand once again. Either the weather will change, or you will find a shelter. Hold on and be strong.
Yeah, I think we should also put it in the end of our book. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. And then, especially I know with guys, and whether I think it's much more the modern generation of guys,
Find a way to release, man.
because we tend to find a way in exercising and gym and stuff, and then because I know you gym and I do
Yeah.
boxing and whatnot, and I know another way that I used to and there's a lot of guys I know and girls that also use this as when I video games.
Because yeah, man,
I play a lot
yeah,
of, because
man.
the one of the sad things is, and this is now also true, when my dad almost died when I was very young, when I was 11. So the one thing that assisted me a lot and was playing video games every day.
Mm,
It's not an addiction, but it's a way to escape
mm.
whatever bad feeling you have, and you immerse yourself in the
one-
video game world.
One
and
of
then
the ways that I love, man, is reading a book. Have you realized how you lose yourself in the characters when you're reading a book?
I don't think
You even forget about who you are as a person.
That you
You
just
get
see-
to experience. Yeah,
You see how I struggle just to read that quote? You want me to read a book?
you should read more. You get so lost in the character of whichever book that you are reading that you even forget about being an ass, man. You see life from their perspective and stuff. So I think that will also work to clear your mind a little bit, to forget about your sorrows and stuff.
Find a way to release your
Mm.
frustration and find a way to release whatever anger, pain, or whatever happened. I mean, when I move a punching bag, I put everything that bothered me
Yeah.
that day or the week, and I
Mm.
go for it.
At the gym, you even forget about everything. You're just focusing at whatever pain you're feeling or the joy that
And
you're
you're pushing
feeling.
it
You're
out.
pushing it up, pushing yourself for one last rep and stuff. You forget about everything.
Yeah, and that's
The
the
mind
beauty.
is so relaxed. Just get something to do. If you are a movie person, watch Netflix.
Watch a movie, yeah. If you listen to music, because I know my brother,
Mm.
he immerses himself with music. That's one thing I think my brother will die if music gets banned in South Africa. Whether-
Yeah, I have one of my cousins that are more like your brother.
They love
That guy,
music.
when he wakes up in the morning, 9 a.m.
Music gets pumped.
Music is pumped, playing channel O the whole day. Man, that guy loves music so much. I don't know what he will do.
I miss
If,
Channel
man,
O.
if there's no music in the world out there, but music is so beautiful, man.
It is.
Especially those particular songs that are so
that
spiritually
that
uplifting.
that get you in your feels,
Mm.
because I know in the shower sometimes I listen to a lot of funk and rap and stuff like that for when I box. But when I take the shower, like I told you guys in the previous episode, I love late night showers, and then when I'm there, I don't want to listen to stuff that gives me that boost. I want to listen to something that's going to calm me down and get me into a thinking cycle to think about
Yeah.
how am I going to attack the next day a better man than I am today. And then
And there's also meditation.
meditation, and I
For
mean
those people who are more spiritual,
Exactly.
you can just go for yoga or meditate out there and release whatever your
and that's what I told,
negative emotions that you are feeling.
especially regarding the gaming community, né, especially when we play online games and stuff. You tend to meet new people, you become new friends, and then when you die in the game, the frustration, you get so angry, you say, and my one buddy does that a lot.
Yeah.
So I told him, he says he doesn't know always how to release the anger. I told him it's easy. Meditate. You don't have to be spiritual to meditate. It's a nice way to calm you down. And I mean, a lot of nights I'll be in my bed. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna sleep. I'm just gonna close my eyes and meditate. Shut down. Completely. I black out in any way while I'm meditating. I meditate until the following morning, but I know I fall asleep with a clear mind and clear heart and clear soul. And I think also another thing that us guys should start doing is, and at least in front of other guys, and at least be open up to that. If you feel you can't carry on, cry, let it
Cry,
out.
man, let it out.
Because I don't usually cry a lot.
You guys don't cry a lot.
It'll.
I
But
think that's why that's one of the reasons ladies live for so long, longer than us.
because they know how to let out whatever.
They let out, man. They're
whatever.
always letting out to their friend to cry. They're always crying.
And guys, it's a complete opposite, because you're gonna cry and the guy's gonna call you a bitch and say why you soft like that. It's not about that. It's at least giving that guy time to emotionally release himself from.
To be vulnerable.
Yeah.
To be vulnerable.
And for the viewers and listeners, we finally have our water dispenser. So we are fully stocked.
Yeah, man, things are looking good, man.
Yeah.
Things are looking good. We're moving.
And I know we told them we're going to change sceneries and stuff, but it's August. So please forgive us. We have, well, not, I wouldn't say a studio, but we're working more or less on it as a studio. So hopefully within the next 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes, we'll set up something new and we'll be inside of a studio thing.
So I stop shivering like this, man.
You stop
Yes,
shivering
yes,
like this.
I'm feeling cold, man. Yes, yes.
And especially the weather,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure how your weather's looking this next week, but ours is fucking freezing. Look at the chicken meat on your legs.
Yeah. But things will work out, man.
And that's one thing a person should tell them as well. Not
Things will work out.
things will work out. I think that is
They
whoever
always-
told that to someone as a quote is that guy is brilliant. Because
Yeah, man.
where
They always work out.
and especially in Afrikaans we have this saying. I know it's in English as well, but I like it in Afrikaans. It sounds better in Afrikaans. Elke donker wolkie het 'n silwer randjie. Every dark cloud has a silver
You
lining.
see?
And it's very true.
Because when I end up suffering from anxiety, if you keep wondering about how bad things are going to end up when you do this or if you don't do that.
Whether it's financial, whether it's spiritual, whether it's personal, whether it's whatever. Because I'll never forget this day. It was during my very, very dark times, and I didn't have cash or any money in my account, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know as you know, I'm not very spiritual, or and I don't turn to religion a lot. But it's not that I use religion as a backbone for it. That I was just like laying in my bed one, and I was just like, Lord,
I know, man, you
I am
provide.
humbling myself now to you, and I apologize for whatever. And then the following day, the
Okay,
money
man.
came to my account, and I was like,
Even,
I mean,
and that's one of the areas that should people should consider going
yeah,
more often, man.
use your faith,
I
use your
might not be
spirituality.
a very spiritual person currently, but I know the feeling that you get when you are in a
Yeah,
church, man. Being surrounded by people with the same purpose, believing that there's a higher power above all
mm.
of us, man. Yeah, can be so emotionally uplifting,
And
man.
that's one thing I love about Buddhists and Buddhist monks
Mm,
is they surround themselves with their faith, and
mm.
because they believe they exist for one purpose and one purpose only. And I mean, that's why they're so disciplined, and
Yeah,
they
man. Yeah, I know back in the days when I was a church boy, man. Yes, yes. I mean, you can be having so much problems in your life, but the minute you step a foot in the church, there, man, you.
and
They
that's
uplift you so much. The words,
especially.
the environment, the room when I saw when I being surrounded by people with so much faith that things will work out. I mean, it can be so spiritually
Yeah,
boosting. I'm telling you, man.
whether yeah, it's
If
amazing
you're a
to
church person, go to church, man. Because I know most of the people after the COVID-19, they stopped going to church.
I haven't been to church in a few
Mm,
years, but the thing is, and I'm not blaming all churches of this. It's
mm,
just I personally I don't like churches because as it says in the Bible, the house of the Lord. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. I haven't read
you
the
are the
Bible.
temple of the Lord.
Yeah, the temple of the Lord is a place where people come together to praise Him.
Mm,
So if I take that into context, I can arrange 4 people come to my house.
and
We
be a
can have
church.
Bible study, and
Mm.
that's church, Mona.
Yeah, the numbers doesn't matter, man. As long as you guys are there
And
for your.
especially, and I mean, if you're a person and your faith doesn't require that, then if it doesn't, and your faith
Mm,
praise it around. The one, can I tell you one beautiful thing?
mm,
As you know, I house Satmos the
yeah.
other time. Then there's the people that sell the bunny chows
Mm.
every morning, because I don't like leaving my stuff at other people's house, and I told you guys this
Yeah,
once
you
before.
told
I
me.
drive
Yeah,
back
you
home,
drive
I
here
drop
and
all of
then you
my
drop.
stuff off, and I drive back, and I walk back. But every morning, and this was like early between 5 and 6, given it's winter, it's freezing cold. She goes,
Mm,
she lights a candle outside of the yard, and not inside of the house, outside,
mm,
and she prays. I'm not sure what religion she follows. It's
mm,
either she's I think she's Indian,
mm.
the Indian religion. I'm not sure what was a Muslim religion. It was one of the two, and I don't mean to offend
Yeah.
anyone because I wasn't quite sure, but I know
Mm.
she was there and she prayed, and that was it. It always fascinates me and how strict those people are with the religion.
Yeah, religion. What you're trying to say is that do what works for you.
Yeah,
If praying works for you,
pray.
pray. If you gyms works for you, gym. Live music, listen to
Music,
your music,
games,
watch
play
movies,
games.
play games, man. Just find something that you're gonna release those negative emotions, man.
You're freezing there.
I'm crazy, my guy. And one of the things they suggest there is that find a support group, man. If you are suffering from particular mental health problem,
Find a
because
support group. Yeah.
as your friends or your family, you might just think that you are exaggerating or something. Find a support group. There's a lot of support groups online, man. Just go find a support group online
Rather find
or in
a
your
support group.
community.
Yeah,
I think most of the but our community is very small here in Makwati.
that's very
In
very
those
small.
big cities, there's
There's
always those
yeah those meetings and stuff of people.
yeah, where they meet with a particular mental problem or whether they are suffering from being alcoholics or drug addicts. There's always those support groups. Man.
And I
Just
feel-
find people the same people as you.
And that's one thing that's why I love psychology. And for the viewers, notice I want to go into psychology, but it's an amazing thing of how I wouldn't say one person, but one person can always persuade another person to be or to assist them in one way. I'm not saying they always work, but because the only person that will ever be able to help you is
It's
yourself.
yourself. So just surround about yourself about people who understand what you are going through, because they will be more supportive because they know that experience firsthand because they are also going through that.
Exactly. Especially with these anonymous meetings and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You
No
don't know.
one is there to judge you because they are also
And that's
going through the
beautiful.
same.
That's beautiful. But I saw this movie. I'm not sure if you watched Fight Club before. But it's not a nice movie at all. It's not beautiful or anything. But the guy goes to a lot of support meetings and stuff. And just what I saw there about the people supporting each other, and I know it's a movie, but I know that it's real life as well. There's a lot of those meetings, whether it's cancer meetings or stuff like that. You saw that mostly with Walter White and with Jesse both going to those meetings. It's amazing how few people that at least they're going in the same road as you, with the same shoes, with the same problems and everything.
Yeah, I think it's helpful, man.
It's amazing. Like what Slim Shady says in that song, It's beautiful.
Yeah, and the other thing they say is be very careful about the food that you eat, because there's a certain food that you can eat that will boost you emotionally.
Yeah, diet is also quite
It's very important.
because I mean I'm not a skinny guy. I'm not skinny at all.
You're a big man.
I love
You're
my
a giant.
I love my cheeseburgers and I love my whatnot and I love my whatnot. But sometimes it will pay off. You just eat something that's
Healthy.
instead of eating comfort food, eat a salad.
Mm.
Because if you comfort yourself too much, you're enabling yourself to go deeper in your
Even the
whole.
quantity of food that you eat, because most of the time I like to overeat. And have you realized after you ate way too much, man, how you feel very down? Man.
You feel
just
down.
Want,
You
you
just
feel
want.
down, you're just lazing around, man. You just want to
But
sleep.
it's nice. Just
You're not as productive as you want to be.
It's like that. I told you.
So it's not only that you should watch the food that you eat, you should also be very careful about the quantity of the food you eat, because you cannot just eat a big plate in the morning and think you're gonna be able to be productive the whole day. It won't work.
It'll
Man.
be the exact opposite. That's why I like to tend to a light breakfast, but I like to I have my breakfast contain much more proteins than any other day, because the proteins at least boost me throughout the day.
Because when you would overeat, then you wonder why are you so down the whole day.
Why are you so tired? Why are you so this? Why are you so that?
Yeah, it might be just the food that you're eating, man.
I never actually thought about that. Then now that you say
Yeah,
it,
when I was researching about the topic,
that's why I love
I
you.
realized,
That's why I love you.
hey, man, these people are telling the truth, man. The food that you consume and the quantity of it.
And that's also one thing now that I'm saying it there. The word love, it's a very beautiful word if you say to a person there. It's because that word, I love you.
It's very powerful. I think people don't realize how powerful it is these days, because you get to hate so much. People are just saying it for the sake of saying it.
And that's wrong. I feel if you say it, you must mean it.
You must mean it.
I want to give one. I say I love you. You know I love you.
I know
Because
you like it.
when I'm just on that guy, I roll with the flow, and then you always do all of the research, and I felt like I'm a parama doing research, but I
But
can't.
I like the way you follow up, man. Yes, man. You're always killing it, man.
It's like I said in the previous episode, we feed off each other's energy. We roll with whatever the other guy says. Watch.
And it's beautiful. We are tender guys.
And that's the one thing me and Maju we decided on is at least maybe each and every, because how the episodes are going to work, just for future reference now, we're tending on, this is season 1 of our podcast, so we're heading on 10 episodes for each season, 10 or 11.
Yeah, 10 episodes.
So, and then once the 10th episode ends, we'll take a short break, maybe less than a month, and we'll start the following season. So we at least want to work in maybe one or two serious topics. And whenever we do a serious topic, we'll look as sexy as we do, suits
Suiting
on,
up and stuff.
except the lower half.
So don't be out there wondering why are they doing this.
We didn't win the lotto yet.
Yeah, but we look good in suits, man. I think we should do this more often, man. Yes. Oh, how do I look at
Yes,
the
I don't actually have a suit on at all, man. I just threw on a blazer. I still have episode one short sleeve shirt on. I just threw on a
But
flower
it's
tie.
amazing how a little thing such as the jacket
Yeah.
can do so much difference.
And that's also a thing I think you can also put in this clothing.
It's
Wear what you think comforts you. And
Mm.
if the other guy doesn't like it, fuck them. It's
Aye.
fine. There'll be another person that admires the way that you
Mm.
dress.
And if dressing up is one of the things that make you feel good about yourself, like myself, when I like clothes, and I going for shopping when I used to make me feel so good. If you are a shopping person, you can also go for shopping. We are not saying that you should spend more than you have.
No, but rather buy one or two cock things. Maybe buy a hair clip
Just
or
go
tie.
for your shopping. Or even sometimes you
Window
can just
shop.
go. You can just window shop. That's what I was trying to say. You can just go there and window
then-
shop, because your mind will be so
Preoccupied.
preoccupied.
I think,
Yeah, that's the way they was
and I think
looking
the
for.
best way that you're meaning is don't shop on your phone. Go
Just
out.
go out there, not on your phone. Go out there, man.
Yeah.
It's nice, man, fitting yourself those clothes, going around the store there, looking at things that you love.
Another thing we can also add to something is we are much more to secure. We tend to close ourselves in a bubble,
Mm.
a comfort zone, escape it one time or another. Maybe go out, do something you haven't done before.
Mm.
Like I think that I love camping, Gift. I really love camping, and I think I'll take you with me the next time. We'll even maybe shoot the podcast. But we went to because we went on a mountain,
Yeah.
and we didn't go with the mountain. We didn't take a tent. We didn't take fuck all. We just went onto the mountain. We just had clothes on our back. Sure, Vian got stabbed. The vet fell off the mountain. But besides the point, we couldn't-
Guys being guys.
guys being guys. Let me tell you guys a story. So I watched this show called Penny versus Penny. It's these two guys and they always have a competition with each other.
Yeah.
So me, my brother, the vet, we're gonna have him on next week's episode, but you'll see that sooner or later. And the other chum, we went on top of a mountain to go camping. Then we decided to do it a survivalist challenge where we only have the clothes on our back, we can only take one or two things with, and then we have to go and survive up there. My little brother, the little shit that he is, decides to pack in meat. We were only supposed to take two 10 foods with
Yeah.
5 liters of water. No. That is not who my brother is. He fucking packs in a lighter, he packs in this, he packs in that, packs in this. I also did it. But I was much more, I hit it much better than he did. So, but besides when guys being guys, and then we were up on the mountain and we were starting fires and cutting wood and whatnot, and then they were digging a hole with a knife. First mistake. Two dumb asses like the vet and Vian decide to
Why were
die
they digging a hole?
for the fire.
Oh, for the
Because
fire.
we were surrounded by a lot of dead
Yeah,
grass.
ne?
So Vian, the vet digging the fucking hole there. All of a sudden, and Vian starts swearing. And I'm like, what happened? It's like, I make a steer. I'm like, and what now? What do you mean? It's like, oh, you go stand. I'm like, oh shit. I had a sweatpants with me. Ne? I had to tear my sweatpants, took Vaseline, put it on there,
Yeah, only
wrapped
in
it. We had to call someone had to come and fetch Vian, and then the vet was like, I'll at least walk Vian with. I'll walk with Vian to the. And then what does the vet do? He falls off the fucking mountain. He runs. His arm is like this. Falls around. I'm like, and I'm at the bottom first with Vian, and then I'm like, the vet's like, wait, I'm coming with. And then you just and you're, hey, nah.
But that's one of the things when I
running
think that
with-
will work it for releasing him. Man. Hanging with your guys, man.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Guys or girls, and
I mean, you get your love so much, man.
and that's the thing.
You even forget about your problems when you're with your gens.
And I feel I don't see this as a problem, but I feel disconnect yourself from the world for a day. You don't have to disconnect
Yeah,
yourself for
man.
months on end. Connect yourself. Disconnect.
Man. Go have fun with people out there, your friends. Go out
And-
with your ladies.
and
Go
it-
out with your
And the
gents.
thing is, it doesn't matter if you're 10, 15, 20,
I mean,
40.
it's so fun when you hang around.
Hang out.
Hang out, man. Hang out, man. Be with people.
Just do not blow stuff up. Or
Don't stab each other.
don't stab each other and fall off mountains, please.
Yeah. I can imagine the pain you went through.
I was
man.
laughing so much
Yes.
that day. And then they left me and Jan told me there on the mountain. We were stuck up on the mountain. We stayed there for a few more hours. I was like, fuck it, I'm going home. And I drove home.
And you always make so good memories, man, when you're hanging around.
Memories
with your
are
friends.
it's a very
Yeah, man.
beautiful thing. And
You think about them, it's like you're experiencing that
yeah.
point in time again.
And another thing I think we can also add on to for some mental releases is forgiveness. Doesn't help to be angry at someone for your
Forgiveness,
entire life, because they might not live as long as you, and then they die and you feel guilty for not
Yeah,
forgiving
man,
them.
forgive me.
And,
That's one of them, man. Yeah, because you were so surprised when I told you that I'm your friend.
just give me a quick second. I need to refill my car.
You were so surprised when I told you I'm your friend.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, and there's no that you don't know is that my mother left me when my grandmother told me that when I was 6 months. So my mother and my father separated, and my mother took me to work to leave me where my father was working there around when I was 6 months.
Yeah.
And I never knew her ever since. So she took me to the workplace of my father. My father took me and went home to drop me by my grandmother. So I was actually raised by my grandmother because even my father died from a very young age.
Do you ever feel you want to go and meet your mother for Have you met
Yeah,
up with her?
no, I've never met anyone from the side of a female.
Have you met her, or is
No,
she still
no,
with
no.
us, or is she passed as
I
well?
don't even, I don't remember anything about it. They say she passed away around 2017 or 2019, but I didn't really follow up on it. So
It's
the part that made me be who I am today is that I forget the very early, at a very early age, man. I was like, there
that's
should have been something that happened between them that they had to separate. So imagine if I went around carrying such emotional baggage with myself everywhere I go.
and
Imagine how down would I
and
feel?
that's also one thing is I know guys also often got
Mm,
adopted and whatnot, and his adoptive mother also passed away, and he wanted to meet his biological parents.
biological
It
parents.
messed him up.
Yes.
He because there's no connection.
Because they think you're gonna be happy if you meet that person in your life.
And
If
then
you are not currently happy about who you are, it's not, meeting somebody else, whether it's your biological
and it's
parents
not
or having a child, it's not gonna make you more happier than you are already are.
exactly. And happiness, it's something we take.
It's personal, man. You
It's
must be happy in your personal capacity, man. Don't think something out there, whether material or somebody will come in your life and change the state of your happiness. It's not possible. So a lot of people are always wondering, okay, yes, man, you have such background and you are such a bubbly and happy person. How do you go around being so happy and free spirited when you have so much history going
because
on? Because
I forgave.
yeah, man, everything is in your mind.
And
Everything is in your mind.
you know, until a very late stage of my life, when my father passed, because he died of a heart attack, and I'll never forget the day. I don't think a person can ever forget the day, but that specific night, I don't know if a person knows that they're gonna pass or anything, but
Yeah, I want that too, man.
because
What a few hours, a
this is
few minutes, you
this-
are feeling it.
this is
I'm about
something
to go.
I'm not sure how true it is, and I mean maybe some viewers or listeners might accompany with me with this or back me up
Your
on
life
this statement.
flashes before your eyes.
I wouldn't say flash, but I think you know it's your
I
time.
think you know, man. I think you
And
know.
now I'm covered
Because
under
there's people who always when they like they will be in a hospital, then they ask for Yanas. After meeting Yanas, they pass away.
Yeah,
I think you know, man.
because my dad, we used to have a not takeaway place. It's a deli. We used to have a deli, and then my dad told my mom, go and buy groceries, and my mom was like, but we already bought groceries for the business and whatnot. It's like no, buy groceries for the house.
Mm.
He went to my grandmother and he went to greet her, just to say hello and greet
Yeah.
her. And then 2 or 3 days after that, we were sitting on the living room, and we greeted my dad. Me and my brother both greeted my dad with a hug and kiss. It just happened. And then we all slept in the same room, I remember that night, and we didn't get woken up when my dad went to the doctors and whatnot, and then when he passed, and I just woke up. But that's besides the point. The thing is, I think the person sometimes they know
I think they know too.
it's
Man.
their time.
I think they know.
I mean, my brothers held a grudge until this day with the doctor because of my dad's death. But me going to the first aid stuff and learning about how,
Think so. Yeah.
and the thing is, my dad had 2 heart attacks, 2 or 3. It was a small one, 2 small ones, and a very large one. And the large one ended his life, unfortunately. But even if we were able to get him to hospital, he still wouldn't have made it because the damage that was done to his heart
That's already way too
was already
much.
done. So that's where I can say forgiveness is even me now I'm getting cold, but forgiveness is a very powerful
It's
tool
very powerful. Man.
because if you can't forgive it, it's gonna bother you more than it's gonna bother that person. So it's a very dark thing to think about, but forgive and forget. It's a very important thing, and don't. And I remember I used to blame the Lord for my dad's death and stuff, but it's part of life.
It's
I
just
don't-
part of life, man. That's what makes life so beautiful. Death, man.
especially, and death is
I don't
actually
think people look at it the same way.
Mm.
Realizing that one day you're gonna be dead. That's why you have to give your best every day. You just have to think about it. This chapter in this particular book that I've read before. So this guy took his student to graveyard,
Mm.
to an open grave. They stood there. The student was so scared. I would be scared too. And it was nightmare. So the lesson there was like, Mona, just know you're gonna end up right
Exactly,
here.
and
You'll be here, whether you like it or not. You'll be here. So imagine waking up every day and not living your life to the fullest.
that's another thing. especially I love to tend to nature, especially with trees and stuff. I'm gonna just put my hand in front of the mic because I'm scared of the wind.
Yeah.
But we see trees dying every season or every year, and then they get
Yes.
reborn,
Mm.
and then the new leaves and the new fruits become. But not the cactus though. The cactus is not alive. But
Just the prop.
find find beauty in death,
Find beauty. That's so beautiful. Find beauty in death, man.
and that's
Find beauty in death.
even if it's. I know it's a difficult thing to do. I know it's a very very
It's
difficult
very
thing
difficult, especially when you're experiencing it personally, man. Yeah, and you lose somebody you love.
to. There, Gift's phone goes notification right next to the mic. But yeah, but it's a difficult thing to think of, and that's why I'd say um, live a quality life,
Mm.
and at least know. Don't I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to die being unknown, and I'm not using the podcast to boost me being known. Because I mean, we both went through this. Even if we end up with 10 subscribers or 0 views on
We
our
did
videos,
something we love.
we did
man.
something we love,
We love
and
it.
that will be there forever.
Man, that will be there forever. Man.
So leave your mark, a positive mark. Let's say a positive mark on people's lives
Mm.
that you'll at least be spoken about for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 years.
They say that how you get not to die.
Yes.
Living through people's memories. Every time they speak about your name, it's like you are reborn again.
Especially when that's beautiful. Death is it's actually quite a beautiful thing, and
Mm.
people don't see it for what it is.
They
'Cause-
say the ones you love only die when you stop talking about
exactly. So I feel, yeah, death. When it's a difficult thing to come to understand,
Mm.
and it won't be understood. But imagine if you had to live forever, it would have been.
that. Hey, man,
That's why I always think if someone like ever asks you what superpower could you have, and a person says immortality, I mean that you don't die at all, it's gonna be a sad thing because you're gonna see everyone you love die,
mm.
and you won't be able to do anything about it. Rather,
And you always postpone doing things you love. Man. Like
Exactly.
you always know that I have more time to be
And-
around.
and that's the thing, never. And this is something I learned with my dad's death. Is we planned this big vacation and everything, going away a month before he died, or we were gonna do it a month after he died. We were gonna go on vacation for the June and July holidays. No, 2 or 3 months, yeah. So we planned this, and then he died. And then my mom told me this interesting thing, and she told it to me and my brother. She just said, "Do not focus on the future. Focus on now."
Mm.
And I mean, don't. I want to say plan ahead, but I'd say
Mm.
if you want to do something,
Mm.
fuck it, do it now.
Do it now.
Put everything aside and go for it.
And that's one of the suggestions that we put down as one of the things that will assist you with your mental health.
Yeah.
Live in the now, man.
Live in the now.
Walk, take a walk. There's this analogy that I read about in the book that once in a day, work at slower, 2 times slower than the usual pace that you always work.
Mm.
Just walk 2 times less.
Yeah.
If you are always like in a hurry, just relax.
Slow
man.
down.
Look at the things that
And-
you are passing.
And I mean, especially with us, because we both walk to work and we both walk back from work.
Mm.
And
Slow
every
down,
and
man.
every time I walk back home, and I'm like, and I see, because I mean, Marquardt is a small place, and we have a lot of nature around, and then there's this mountain there in the back. And when I see that
It's
mountain,
beautiful.
I'm like, we tend to overlook beauty in the
Yeah,
world.
well, no, man.
And I mean,
Just slow down. Even when you are in your room, relax, man. Look at things from a different perspective. Be alive, because most of the time you think you are there in your room, but your mind is not there. It's
Exactly.
out there in the world. Be present.
and I mean, people, and this is very, I think that'll differ from a lot of people, but some people might say, I haven't achieved anything in my life, and it's total bullshit, man. You woke up that morning and you decided to wake up and get out of bed. That is something you did. That is an achievement
and most
you
of
did.
the time you did something for another person, because I think that's the
Without knowing
purpose
it.
of life, man.
Yeah.
You are here to save each other. You made a plate for someone. You made somebody laugh.
Exactly.
You took something here to deliver it somewhere for someone.
And that is one thing that I can say about people who are very, they live with spirituality and they live
Mm.
with faith. Is faith cannot exist without love.
Mm.
Because I mean, if I turn to the Bible and I see stuff, then I mean, everything in there is just about love. Love is,
Everything when life is love.
and I'm sure with all of the religions, the main focus is love. Because I mean, without love, we won't exist. And it's a very beautiful thing, love. It's something that's also taken for granted.
Yeah, another thing I want to suggest to the viewers out there about mental health is that be self-aware, man, about how you feel. Be self-aware. You know yourself on now, man. This is not the gift I know, man. I'm feeling way too down these days. You know yourself
Yeah.
on now, man.
And if you feel
Something has changed, especially if you change the way you do things daily, that you are more negative than positive. You know yourself. Just be aware about your feelings and stuff. Because
Take it-
we won't know you are depressed. You are the person who will know, man. There's
You're
something
depressed,
wrong
there's
about
something
you.
wrong.
There's something wrong about me. There's always that tick that tells you, oh, man, I'm not acting like myself, man.
Yes. And that's also something that I also learned from my dad, because he used to drink a lot, and then the when he stopped drinking, it was amazing for me, because then I learned the better side of my dad.
Hey,
And I'm
you get
like,
to know the loving side of you.
yeah, and also my dad was a hard person or something like that. He loved us a lot, and he would give his
Just that
left
you
nut to support us. And
hey,
what.
for the family.
But yeah, I don't know what to say. There's something that came to mind, né? But I can't. I don't know how to speak it out.
How to
But
articulate it.
yeah. Why do you have to go with proper English now, Mona? But
Yeah, you have to be aware, man. You have to be aware about your emotions and be out about them.
Yeah.
Speak them loud to other people. Tell us how you feel, man.
yeah, and I mean,
Because we must see your actions and think that you are just acting out, while
Yeah.
actually you
We-
are the
we-
one who you know
yeah.
what you are going through.
and I mean, speak, talk. It's.
Because us people will just see the way you know,
I'm
man.
like, he's not acting the same.
Hey, man,
What-
Yanas, what's going on with you?
And then he's like, oh no, I'm fine. But in the meantime, you're breaking
You are
inside.
dying inside, man. Because the ones who love you, they will realize when something changes in your behavior or
And that's the thing I can also say from us at work. We're a very close-knit
Yeah,
family
man.
at work.
yeah, it was family there.
And I mean, if one of us is down, the other guy
They
realizes
pick
it.
it up so much, man. That's what I love about our workplace there, man. Yeah.
People, yeah, we're a family. It's
We're
not,
a family.
we're not colleagues, we're family. And I mean, we learn to love each other very quickly there. That's why it's hard for us. I know whenever someone has to leave, it's a heartbreaking thing.
Yeah, man, and the way I was welcomed, man, it was one of the most beautiful things. Man. You know, when I left Mafikeng, when I came to Makot, man, I didn't have shit, man. I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything. But all I knew is like the way you were saying that, you just know when things will work out, man.
Yeah.
Whether God or the universe will provide. Man, I had to leave my other previous job, so I had to give them a notice so that they can process those pension funds and everything and arrange for everything. So I actually thought when by the time I have to come to Marquardt, everything will be sorted up. I would have received my cash and everything. But when I didn't, I think they took you about 2 months. You remember how broke I was, man? Yes, man. And when I got here, I think about, I have to find a place to rent when I get to Marquardt. I don't have shit. I also think I have $1,000 or $900, and I have to take around 400 to travel here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I get here, when I hear my manager tell me that you can sleep there, I was so grateful, man. I was so grateful,
And that
man.
is love. And
Yeah,
We also-
and I also provide something so that I can get my pants because my pants were so worn out. And my life is beautiful, guys. Yeah.
especially,
Life is beautiful,
it's
man.
beautiful. And people tend to forget how beautiful life
Yeah,
is.
my life is beautiful, man. Because the universe is always out there to provide, man. Just believe in it or believe in God, the universe. Whatever you believe in is gonna provide, man.
And that is
Especially if you are a person who always do nice things to people.
yes. And that is something I can tell you guys about is we stayed in a house, we rented, and then the house got sold without us knowing.
Mm.
And then we got told we need to move out, and we had a very short span. And then, we were like, I don't think there's any member of my family that wasn't depressed, but we weren't sure where we were gonna go. No, we were gonna end up on the street, but life came through, the universe came through, faith came through, religion, whatever it is that you consider helps you and assists you every day. It came through, and then we got the house, a new house, and we moved in, and the house is
And
amazing.
finances, man, debt finances are one of the things that are a leading cause of
And I think
health
people
problems out there.
exactly. I think people tend to they concentrate too much on debt, and they concentrate too much on finances. That's exactly where it comes to when we say live in the now.
Live in the now, man.
I'm not saying everything will sort itself out in the future, but live in the now and just believe that something will come.
Hey,
And
give your best. Just give yourself
Yeah.
your best to the world. The world will reciprocate the energy, man.
I don't understand, but that's always what the teachers told us. Just do your best in the exam.
Just do your best in life, man. When you know that you are working every day to try to make a living out there, you go to work, you do your best at your work, you go out there. If you are selling things there, even if you are selling in the streets there, you go there and you sell, you do something. There's always
Even
that.
if you have a tuck shop, even if you work in retail,
Yeah,
even if
man.
you work in finance, if you work in this. And another thing that people also tend to forget is the older generation, I can say. I wouldn't say our parents, but I'd say our grandparents. They don't quite understand how the world is now, because they used to stay most. You can use our parents as well. Without a university degree, you're fucked in the world now. You're not going to be able to earn cash. Now the 16-year-olds that are driving Lamborghinis
Yeah, man.
because they learned how to do trading or drop shipping or stuff.
And the thing that most people don't understand is that you get more money each time you increase the value that you provide to the world. Now it's easier to provide value to the world. We see now we can provide content through YouTube
True,
now
man.
to the people, and there's people who's gonna appreciate the content
Yeah.
that they will be willing to pay for such content. There's
Exactly.
people who, I mean, if you just add value to yourself, people are willing to pay for value, man.
And that's the people that I can also we should put stress on it. Put 110% in what you do. If it's a bad day,
Mm.
put your 110% in. If it's not the perfect day for you, if it's not the perfect day for your business wise, it's fine. It might be a better day as soon as you get home and you're surrounded by family
Hey,
or
by
something.
people you love.
Exactly.
Because that's where you add value again, because they know your value as a husband or as a boyfriend or as a child. They know how
I would say
valuable are they.
the husband and boyfriend part that doesn't apply to me. But
So just make sure that by all times you always add value to yourself and the people that you surround yourself.
That's why-
They'll appreciate you more, man.
that's one thing that I love is when I go to donate blood, man.
Mm.
Sure, we receive the gifts and whatnot, and it's quite nice. I love receiving something back. It's not necessary at all. I've donated blood and I haven't received anything, but that's besides the point. Is that 500 or that 550 or 700 or whatever the amount is of blood you donate, it's going to someone that actually does need it.
And you feel good, man, about doing such things because you
Except,
know
except when I fucking came back and I was stabbed in both
you feel
arms.
good because you know, man, that there's a good that you did to provide for the whole
Exactly.
human race.
And that's a big thing. But I mean, saying as soon as that what we said in the beginning was a smile is it's one of the most valuable pieces of
Yeah.
currency in the world. Laughter and a smile. Because laughing is contagious, and I've realized that.
And realizing that you are doing things that contribute to humanity, man, it gives you so much.
Vavavoom.
Vavavoom. You get to leave your bed knowing that now I did my best today. I did that and did that, and I know it's gonna benefit other people in so many ways.
I'm not lying, Nick. This thing is actually helping my throat. It's not burning. As soon as it starts to itch, I've been smoking a lot more than I usually do on the podcast, but it soothes the throat. But yeah, and health is also an important thing to take into consideration. Mental health and physical health, and it's something to take. It's very important.
Yeah. But I think the awareness is spreading more and more. If you go to YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, there's a lot of posts
And-
about it.
Yeah, even those motivational things that pop up.
Yeah.
It's
I think the world is starting to take mental health
a lot
serious.
more serious. And I mean, for the viewers and audience, we will add a lot of the numbers you can call, such as the suicide helpline and all those things. We are just dedicating this episode actually to mental health awareness, not because it hasn't affected. It has affected both of us. I'm guessing, but not in the now. We just thought we should at least bring a little bit of awareness. And I know there's millions of other podcasters and millions of other YouTubers,
Yeah.
TikToks and whatnot that do it, but I mean
we realize the importance
the
of
importance of it.
it.
Yeah.
We realize the importance of it because we know that most of your life is affected about your thoughts. Then your thoughts will lead to your habits and stuff. Then your habits will lead to the kind of life that you get to live.
Yeah, and I mean,
So you see, the thought is the starting process of everything. So you should understand the importance of that, man. Imagine if it's just negative thoughts in your head.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
that's actually very bad and sad.
yeah, the process is already starting fucked up already, man.
At least finally you've sworn on the podcast. I've been swearing up and down, left, right, and center at least to hear one word from you, and at least you finally swear. Because I'm not marketing this podcast for
Yeah,
the
man,
kids.
it's because I take this thing so serious, man. Yeah. If your thoughts are already bad, yeah.
And I mean, there are people struggling with that every single day of their life, having constant negative thoughts. And I mean, it's.
At least your
Do
habits.
you know how sad that is in actual fact?
Yeah.
To be constantly surrounded by negative
negative
thoughts.
man. Yes.
And once again, viewers and listeners, I apologize for the mic.
And they say
And if the wind blows,
that's what depression is, man. If that negative thinking lasts for a long period of time, you know, and this calls for help, man.
yes, and you know, for my viewers, and my mom went to the hospital almost a while back. She had a stroke and those things, and it affected her a lot. She was in hospital for a month. She came out, and one thing that I can realize now is a person never comes out of hospital the same.
No, you're never the same.
No. And that's what I'm thankful. I haven't been to hospital yet for any serious match or anything. I mean, the only thing I've ever removed was my tonsils, and that was in Senekal hospital. So it was just went back home, ate biltong. But yeah, it's a very. This is a very broad thing to talk about mental health, because it can affect every person in a different way. It has different ways of affecting all of the people and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah. It's very serious.
I'm freezing, man. And I don't get cold.
And when it's cold and the wind is blowing, my eyes get a little bit.
He's lying, he's crying.
Yeah, man. It's very serious. Man. And the thing is, you guys should not just look for help on TikTok, YouTube, and all that. If you realize that your symptoms are getting more serious, go out there and find a specialist. Find a doctor. Go to someone who will assist you. There's a lot of psychiatrists out there.
That's why I want to add the numbers and stuff. Because I mean, it's for free.
Because you might be trying to give advice about how to deal or treat mental health problems, but you are not professionals.
And if people also go to much more church people and stuff, your pastor, your reverend, whatever
they do those sessions. Yeah. So go.
Because I mean, I think they do psychology as well. They do. And Afrikaans, it's called pastorale sielkunde. It's like, do not ask me what the English word is. Please do not ask me. My English is limited.
They call it in Afrikaans?
Pastorale sielkunde. I might even say it wrong in Afrikaans. Because in school, I had Afrikaans home language until grade 9, and then I had first additional language, Afrikaans first additional language until matric. So I am quite useless when it comes to both languages, since I've only had both for a certain period of time. But I do tend to indulge in the English literature every now and then.
The Peaky Blind.
Yeah. I mean,
so they must understand, man. There is always an experience that triggers the mental health problem, and you must also understand the duration that negative feelings
can go through.
Then you must be very aware about how it affects your life.
And I mean, find help. It's a very important thing. If you can't find help,
so
talk to a friend, talk to a family member.
Triggering experience. You realize there's a triggering experience. You get divorced, your lover leaves you, or you get unemployed, or you're indebted. That will be an experience. Just check, then the results to a negative emotions. Just check how long are you feeling down. Whether it's lasting for a long time, then you check how it affects your life.
Also, I'm going to come back to what you just said now about whether it's losing a job, losing a life. And people always think it's only me that's going through that. It's not just you. I can
get a lot of people.
There's 7 point something billion people on this earth. I can guarantee you there are people exactly feeling the same way as you do, and they're going through the exact same thing as you. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable talk to a stranger because they don't know you, you don't know them. It's just life.
This was a very good episode.
This
was a very good.
I'm freezing.
We are freezing, guys.
we
would just like to thank you for viewing us today again.
And
any closing words?
I have closing sentences, not words.
Before we die.
We'll ask the people, whoever finds this tape, please tell I love all of you guys. So time to thank for our viewers and listeners.
I appreciate you so much, guys.
We hit 70 something views on episode 1. We went above 60 views episode 2.
We have 20 subscribers.
We have- It's either 22 or 23.
It's 23 now, I think.
You guys,
Yeah, let's rock it.
it's amazing.
We are so appreciative.
And I mean, just the simple view, and I mean that boosts both of us
Yeah.
tremendously. I can really not stress this, and I'm even shivering now.
Yeah,
Look at
and
that.
if you are shivering, I know it's bad. You know me or me and Corey can be just 5 degrees. Then I'm like, why not if you are shivering?
I'm getting cold, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Yes, guys.
I can honestly not stop thanking all of you, the viewers and listeners, for those people that corrected me. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in to our podcast. And I mean, thank you tremendously. I will link all of those numbers, at the helpline numbers that you can call.
Yeah.
I'll also link our social numbers, not social numbers,
Social media platforms.
our platforms and
reach
links where you can and I mean, feel free. Like there's only one person that comments on every video so far, and it's our cameraman, but talk with us on the comments, or you can even DM us on,
Suggest something.
you can
We
even
are
suggest
open for
something.
suggestions. So.
We'd love to hear some suggestions from you guys, and then we'll even incorporate it to our podcast for a new topic, and then you can talk to us on social media, you can talk to us wherever. We feel a very important thing for us is to at least communicate with our viewers and at least be able to chat with you guys. It'll mean a lot
We
to us.
understand that without them we are nothing.
And both of us, we are bilingual, so if you speak only Afrikaans and you watch this podcast,
Comedy in Afrikaans.
ek sal moet julle terug Afrikaans praat, gift verstaan en kan ook Afrikaans.
Tswana, Sotho,
Shut up, Bliksem.
Xhosa, Zulu, I'm standing now.
And you even speak Afrikaans right now. But yeah, it doesn't matter the language, even if you speak in Arabic or something. There's Google Translate. We can translate even if you.
Things are easier.
I think so. You never know. I want to just. And the cup is even empty again. But yeah. Thank you guys once again. We will be signing out. What do we call this? What do we say? How do you say goodbye? Just catch you next week, and then we end everything.
And we run to our blankets.
After this, I'm jumping out of my bed.
Oh, thank you very much for the views, guys. We appreciate
And
them so much.
now I have another question. Our cameraman is not yet within the podcast. You know, I like sitting here and just we have a button that
And
we push.
he knows that when they are taking way too much, he comes up.
He comes.
Now he's not coming.
Now
now.
the comes. I'm not sure if we should continue
So
the
you
show.
guys must understand how cold it is, even when our cameraman is not coming out. It's very cold.
It's cold. It's
He's
chilly.
big. He's deep inside the blankets. That
He's
guy
deep
with a
inside.
cup of.
But yeah. Thank you guys again. We can't stop thanking you. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for enjoying our podcast, and it really does mean a lot to us. I've said it before. I said it like 4 times now, but I mean it every single time. And next week it'll be a light-hearted subject. It'll be a comedy subject again.
Yeah, it will be a comedy subject.
And then for the end of the month, the 27th, we'll be having our Women's Month special. So we kind of messed up because I didn't remember which day was Women's Month. So we're gonna use it as our Women's Month special, and we'll have
You do anything for Women's Day that.
yeah, and I mean we'll have our first person that's gonna come and chat with us. Our what do you call first guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
So a second, man, because we'll be having that guy next week.
it's like, oh shit, yeah, yo. So we're gonna have. Remember I told you guys about. Now we're going back into chatting before I say goodbye. I told you guys was away in episode 1. We'll get the bait here, the coconut.
Yeah. He told me.
Let us have a refill quickly before we say goodbye. So we're gonna get in here. Our next week's topic is gonna be. I think we should add next week's topic, and maybe it'll entice our viewer range to at least know.
Somebody is watching today.
So we're not entirely sure how to name the next week's episode. Maybe if you guys can drop a few suggestions.
Yeah, that can be one of the suggestions.
We're thinking of calling it why we need to ask our school fees back, because as both of you give your phone, your bloody phone wat jy afgaan. As you know, we do tend to stumble a lot regarding words, and we both only have an IQ combined of 4. This is why we need our school fees back. And
To perfect our English, man, so that we can articulate.
not just English, Muna, life in general. We're quite dumbasses, Muna. But yeah. So
I'm dying.
even me, Muna, don't worry. So yeah, that's gonna be next week's episode. Is gonna be why we need our school fees back, and if you guys drop any suggestions in the comments and or hit us up on social media. The whatever sounds the best or looks the best or gets the most likes, because I know you can like what you more call it. We'll use it as our name title for next week. And but if you guys do not comment, please assist us, because I don't want to call it why we need our school fees back. I'm scared. I'm scared they're gonna think we were trying to start another part,
another movement.
another movement. Yeah, and then we're gonna end then August with Women's Month special, and then hit up September fresh with our what is September? What is the season? That is why I need my school fees back, because I don't even know what the season is. So from me and my G, we're signing out. I have to now stand up and show you guys my white legs and my short pants. So peace out, guys. Much love and keep safe.
See you again.
Love you.
Next week.
Look at his short, man.
Yes.